Hey, today we're talking about metal. Cue the intro music I don't have yet. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about hair metal. Now, I understand a lot of you are going to be groaning and moaning over that. That's not real metal, and they were doing it for the money, and they were doing it to get laid. It was never really about the music. I get it. A lot of bands are classified as hair metal, but actually knew what they were doing. Rocked as hard as they could. Did it for the music, and if you're gonna get paid to do it, get paid lots of money. Get paid with lots of women. Drink till you don't have a liver anymore. It was the 80s. It was a party. You're gonna want to join in. There was a lot of coke. Anyway, some hair metal band names. There was Bon Jovi, Def Leppard. There was even Styx for a short period of time there. They did a couple of things that could have been classified. Damn Yankees, in which the guitarist for Styx joined up with Ted Nugent. That was in the early 90s, though. You've got Kiss. They did some hair metal in the late 80s when they took off their makeup. Let's see here. You had bands like Rat that had maybe like 2 or 3 songs. We can only remember one, though. Scorpions, who have been rocking hard since the 70s and haven't stopped despite having a farewell tour. We've got, let's see here, Striper, which were slinging horns for God. Always putting out some quality stuff. You had Dokken with George Lynch, and that pairing was magnifique. You had Cheap Trick, who did a couple of things in the early 80s, right as hair metal was starting to get going. You had Skid Row, which had one of the first metal albums to reach #1, if it wasn't the first, which paved the way for groups like Metallica and for Slayer, Lamb of God, Dragon Force, you name it. It wouldn't have been a thing without Skid Row. Then you had, a lot of people are going to hate me for this one, Guns N' Roses counted among that as well. Because Axl was a bit of a pansy. Fight me. You had in the late 80s, you had a bunch of groups that had like maybe 1 or 2 hits. Groups like Slaughter, Great White, Kix. Firehouse, yeah. A lot of groups that just had like maybe one song, and it was probably their power ballad that was a remote hit. Whitesnake got in on it, and Whitesnake, David Coverdale was running around, and I probably needed to turn my mic on. Oh no, it's on. Cool. We're doing it live. Let's see here. What other bands were there? There was Quiet Riot, who had who set the tone with the anthem "Metal Health, Bang Your Head." Sadly, it's been overplayed, but it is still a great song if you're ever in the mood for it. Let's see here. A lot of stuff came out of hair metal and was influenced by hair metal enough to get recognition back in the 80s. Now, it was influenced by it because they didn't want to be it, and that was thrash metal out of the late 80s. Groups like Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer, they didn't want to be the glam metal that was happening down on the strip. They wanted to rock as hard as they could and have a mosh pit, which, you know what, go for it. Groups like Def Leppard, if you ask them, they will never say they were hair metal. They were the band that could. They did it to have a lot of sex and to make great music, and they succeeded. What else can I say about the Thunder God and their late guitarist Steve Clark? I can't say enough. We might have an entire episode dedicated just to talking about Def Leppard. Let's see here. God, I've got a lot of these groups, and like I have an entire 2 playlists. I will see about linking them in the description below. Let's see here. Round and Round by Rat is the only song we remember. They might have had a couple. You had Lick It Up by Kiss when they took their makeup off, and everyone was like, oh my god, they're kind of... Well, I mean, Paul Stanley. You had Scorpions with Rock You Like a Hurricane, and a whole plethora of hits, including one of my personal favorites, Wind of Change, which I will stop the world to listen to. Don't even get me started. I want to say about 84, 85, hair metal decided to take a turn for the soft and start writing love songs, which the power ballads, or monster ballads as a lot of people like to call them, they may get made fun of a lot, but they were fucking great. Pardon the language. But, come on guys, it's me. Let's see here. Misfits had a little bit of an influence in them in their later years. No, they didn't. That wasn't Misfits, that was Danzig. He had some influence by them. Mostly because to get some commercial success, he had to write one song in a style like that. And that was Mother. Let's see here. What else did we have? Tell me some of your favorite hair metal down in the comments. I want to hear about it, because there might be some stuff I personally have missed, despite I've been listening to this stuff since I was like 4. Like I had hair down to my butt at one point. I was head... And I would still be doing that to this day if I didn't tear a couple of neck muscles. Yeah, I went that hard. Yeah, tell me what you guys like to listen to as far as hair metal goes. And suggest some more metal down in the some more metal genres that I should research for you guys down in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it, especially if they're horn throwers like me. Later on, I'm going to get some band shirts. I'm working on it right now. I got to save up a little bit of money. You know how it goes for us metalheads. Alright, anyway,